Okay, so one of my favorite bands, Korn, released an album about a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago, called Path to Totality. And when I found out that they were going to be doing using dubstep, I figured that they were only going to do like three tracks, having like three tracks that were going to be dubstep. So I looked into dubstep when I heard about Korn doing dubstep, and I heard some of the Skrillex stuff, and I don't know, I just typed it up on YouTube and just listened to what came up, and it's just noises that people make on a computer. It's not really anything. It's not natural music, I mean, so I was kind of hoping that they were only gonna do like three, and I actually was kind of seeing like what it would sound like, but I didn't think that the whole album was gonna be dubstep. And Korn used to be one of my favorite bands. Well, they still are kind of one of my favorite bands, but I got into Korn around 2007, and I got into Korn right after their 2007 Untitled album came out. That's what got me into them. And I also did hear some songs on the radio of them prior to their Untitled album coming out, and I actually liked the songs a lot. But I didn't. I was just getting out of rap at that time. I used to like rap up until 13, but I didn't even like rap. The only rapper I liked was Eminem. I don't. Okay, that has nothing to do with Corn. I don't want you guys to think that I like Eminem or anything because I hate him. But so yeah, I got on the Corn, and then I was listening to other stuff. And I'm not gonna say one style is better than the other, but I consider myself a true Corn fan. But other Corn fans say that they suck because they don't sound what they did back in like the 1990s. Now, personally, a good band is always going to change the style. That's what a good band does, and they experiment. But sometimes you sound good when you experiment. Sometimes you don't. I don't. I didn't care much for the first three albums. Two, I don't know. I mean, actually, no. The albums I really did not like is the second album, the third album. The third album is Children of the Corn. I'm not a big fan of that. No, wait. Yeah, Children of the. I don't know. Let's see. Whatever album. Let's see. Damn it. Uh, yeah, that Children of the Corn I didn't like because it was hip hop mixed with like weird special effects, and I wasn't a big fan. There was a few songs I liked, but not many. But Issues I thought was a good album. They had pretty good style. Uh, just the background and JD's voice and all that, and then take a see you on no take a look in the mirror. Not this no the one after that, Take a Look in the Mirror that came out in '03 was I liked that a lot too, and then the '05 See You on the Other Side was pretty damn good. And then Untitled. So those three albums probably are my favorite albums. And then after the Untitled album came out, I was waiting for a new Korn album to come out, and I thought that they were gonna do another spin off of like their Untitled album, like kind of like the same concept, same style, something similar to like the type of style that they had on the Untitled album. But when I heard that they were gonna try to go back to the old school sound, I was slightly disappointed. So their 2007-10 album, Remember Who You Are, came out, and I listened to it the whole album, and I didn't care much for it, honestly. And before you guys say, "Oh, that album was good," a month or two went by, and I haven't listened to one song because I didn't like it at the time. I didn't hate it, but it just I don't know. I didn't like it. But one day, probably actually more like 3 months after the album came out, I was like, I'll take another look at the album, and the more I listened to that album, the more I liked it. It grew on me, and now I love the album. I mean, I don't like it as much as Untitled, but I listen to it more than Issues or any other album except for Untitled. But I think the reason why I like it is because it's so lyrically driven. Now, of course, Korn is a lyrically driven band. Like it's not where like the JD's voice is always drowned out by the music. No, but I think that album was very emotional, kinda. A lot of emotion. You could tell if you listen to it, a lot of emotion was put into it. Yes, there was more I mean, there was emotion put into Issues and maybe some of the other albums, but more mature, more the emotion that was put into Corn 3, Remember Who You Are, was more mature, and you could tell that they put a lot of thought into the lyrics. Not saying they never do, so I didn't think a Korn album would come out after that for a while, if at all, never. But when I heard that they were coming out with a new album, I was like, huh, really? Only a year after? I mean, usually they take like 3 years to make an album, to release one. So I was slightly excited about the album, but then I listened to the whole album, and let me tell you, no matter how much I listen to this, I can only hate this album more. Okay, so I don't know why. You know, I mean, I don't know why he did the dubstep stuff. Like, if they kept the lyrics but only had a normal background, that album could rival "Remember Who You Are." You know, I mean, of course, I mean, some people might like the album that are in the dubstep, but I only liked a few songs, and I don't even. I try not to listen. I try to only listen to the voice, not even the background. Like, Narcissistic Cannibal was okay, and maybe the background was alright. Chaos and Everything, I like that song, and Tension. Those are the only three songs off the album I like. Quite frankly, I only try to listen to the voice and the rhythm. I don't even care about the background. But I mean, JD has he's a good visionary when it comes to making music and that stuff. But he should have at least figured that nobody would really like the album as a Korn album. I mean, you could tell that Monkey and Freddie didn't even give two shits about the album. One interview I seen, Monkey was like, "Yeah, yeah, I tried to put a guitar part in the song." Yeah, and then Freddie was picking dirt out of his fingernails, and was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." What Jonathan said. Yep, yep. I don't give a shit. And I don't even think the new drummer. I can't think of his name right at the moment. But I don't even think they really did use him except for like the live concerts, because all the background music was already pre-made by the dubstep music producers, and then they sent it to JD. Because he was grooving it. JD was Jonathan was in charge of everything, and I don't know. Usually he makes good music, but dubstep maybe he just got lazy and just wanted to put in an album, or maybe just wanted to piss off the fans, or maybe he really does like the fucking shit. I don't know, but dubstep and rock should not. I mean, if he did, like, let's say he had the normal background music, bass, guitars, drums, but he put a little like dubstep in the background, but it wasn't the main background sound. It probably would have turned out alright, but I don't know. Well, that's just my thoughts on the new Korn album. Um, Pretty sure you guys feel similar about the new album too. I don't know. I guess this is the end of the video.